talk too much about the road trip, but not the results you wanted. Aside from losses, what are you seeing on the court that you guys just aren't getting that result that you want right now?
Inconsistency. The week before, the 2 games that we played at home, I was actually very encouraged by some things. I thought we took a step forward as a basketball team in certain areas, and then unfortunately this past week it was the complete opposite. It was kind of a combination of not playing hard enough, combination of not executing the scout. It was a combination of a lot of things, and when you're inconsistent in those areas, it just really makes it tough for us to have success.
Are you in a situation that if there are players that aren't playing the way that you want them to play, that you can replace them on the court?
With other players,
Yeah.
you mean? Well, obviously, I always say the more the merrier, meaning if we can get positive contribution from others, that certainly helps us collectively as a team. But that has also been inconsistent. So obviously our top 5, top 6 play a lot of minutes. And it's kind of who's going to show up tonight and give us positive, productive minutes, and we wait to see who that is.
All right, back home this week, and obviously you guys know that you got to start putting some wins on the board. What's it going to take starting on Thursday?
Well, certainly, we have to. I've just done a lot of evaluating of our team, for example, and just making some changes in practices, expectations being a little bit different / higher, and obviously, as always, we have to produce on the defensive end, and that has definitely lacked these last 2 games on the road, along with being consistent on the offensive end. And what I mean by that is just continuously to be aggressive. When we are tentative and we're stagnant on the offensive end, we're a very average offensive team. And however, when we're aggressive and really challenge our opponents to force them to play half-court defense, certainly we like our chances a lot better on the offensive end. So we just have a great week of practice. Take advantage of these 2 games at home. We're obviously facing a very good team in East Bay. We have to execute the scout and just do all the things that it takes required to win.
You guys, aside from the last month or so, you haven't been used to a losing streak. It's been win, or you lose one, but you kind of get back on track. But do you have the players, and you got that senior leadership, but do you have the players to kind of turn this funk around into positive and start moving up in the standings?
Well, there's certainly areas where we have to absolutely continue to be positive. But at the same time, we can't lower our expectations and lower our standards of the girls of each other. And that's where seniors do come into play. The seniors who are playing right now have got more than enough minutes and experience under their belt to understand the situation. And it's consistency. It certainly does start with them, and they're out there the majority of the time. So, as I told them, they have a lot of ownership on their shoulders, and there's a lot of season left. So I want us to stay positive, certainly, but at the same time, we have to learn how to handle adversity a little bit better. Whether that means during a game, whether that means the day after a loss. I think we have to be more mature as a basketball team and just learn from our mistakes and our errors and our losses and work to get better each and every day.
You guys had a difficult time the first time facing East Bay early in the season, and obviously you guys knew what happened there, but what do you remember about them? What did you see from East Bay as you prepare for them on Thursday?
Well, I do know that they're a scrappy team. They play really hard. I thought they were out-physicaled us last time when we played at their place, and we really didn't get into any kind of flow on the offensive end. And so we certainly have to make some changes there. And on the defensive end, we know who their weapons are. We know what to expect from them. And just as in any game, we have to execute our scout. We just have to be more effective on the defensive end. As I always tell the girls, when we make a defensive error, good teams are going to capitalize on that. And that was what we talked about a lot just after this last week was the defensive errors. They're not going to be hidden. We can't hide those facts. Those happen, and teams are going to exploit us in those areas. And we just have to be better.